right, so this problem is asking us to find x, y, and z. This is a classic geometric mean problem, and there's a good web page that shows you kind of the summary of it. There's an altitude rule. If you have the altitude coming down off of a right triangle, then the altitude is the geometric mean of the two parts that it splits, which means h is to x as y is to h. That's the rule for geometric mean, which means when I solve this, h squared equals xy, or h equals the square root of xy. That's really the easiest. That's the most simple way to put it. And then there's also another rule when you have the same kind of picture. If you have the leg, notice that I have this leg over here, this blue leg, that blue leg right there. That blue leg is the geometric mean of the side closer to it and the full side, full base. So A is the geometric mean. This A right here, I'll do this in thick blue so you can see. That side A is the geometric mean of this part and this full thing. And there's your equation. In other words, you could also write it as A equals the square root of YC if you solved it just for A. So A equals the square root of YC. And also, that geometric mean property works for the other leg as well. It works for either leg. So this green leg on the left, see that leg? That leg B is the geometric mean of this part here, the small part, and then the full part. Which means B equals x times, B squared equals x times c, or B equals the square root of xc. So let's apply those to this problem. So notice I have, let me color code them even, red. For the altitude, I'm using red. So here's my altitude, and z is the geometric mean, which means z squared equals of the two base parts that it splits. So z equals the square root of 3 times 9, and let's simplify it before we complicate it. Don't multiply it together, because you like to see it broken apart. And sure enough, 9 is a perfect square. So this is 3 root 3. So z equals 3 root 3. Let's do the blue one, which was the one on the right. So what the blue one would be, what's y the geometric mean of? Y is the geometric mean of the side closer to it and the full side. So y equals, or y squared rather, equals 9 times what?
12.
Exactly. 9 times 12. And again, simplify before you complicate. So let's take the square root of this. Don't multiply 9 and 12 together. In fact, break 12 down. 12 is really 4 times 3, right? So you can see that these are both perfect squares. So this is 3 and this is 2. So it's 6 root 3. So y equals 6 root 3. And then let's do that last one in green. X is the geometric mean of what?
3 and 12.
Of 3, that, and 12. So x squared equals 3 times 12. And again, same deal. Let's not multiply it together. You actually could, because 36, you know, is 36. But still, I'll write x equals the square root of 3 times 4. And I'm like, oh, sweet. 3 squared and 2 squared. So that's just 6. Which it is, just 6. So there are your answers. 3 root 3 is the altitude. 6 root 3 is y. And 6 is x.